Chat, here we go. We have Firstkiller versus Chronic in the second round of the final group stage. It is stage 3 groups. And we are looking to earn some points in order to qualify for the final playoffs. Now, Firstkiller is already in it because Firstkiller has a series, or I shouldn't say a series, an event win in stage 1. Firstkiller looked truly unbeatable in the playoffs and really walked his way to a win. It wasn't really a close series there late. And doing so has earned him a spot in the playoffs for sure. But because he had a bit of a rough stage 2, I don't think he is guaranteed to be in the upper bracket of the playoffs like his cohort Daniel is. He's going to have to put in a little bit of work here in the group stage to make sure that he goes into the top of the bracket, which by all means he should, if he can handle business. Now, Chronic is a guy who, coming into the Salt Mine, I think was expecting to get some wins. I think he was hoping at least, or you know, didn't think it was out of this world to come away with a Salt Mine win after being the best player in North America when he played in the Chalkcast Duels, I think it was, which was a international ones tournament when everyone was over there for Worlds. He looks like North America's best. And what's interesting is maybe he just has the best matchup against the Europeans, although I think Daniel has done pretty well in those as well. Can't remember if Firstkiller played in it or not, but either way, now that we're back in North America and it's a pure North American tournament, we are back to how the status quo always used to be, which is Firstkiller and Daniel on top. And they finished in the grand finals the first time around. Daniel won the second one when Firstkiller wasn't there to stop him. And we'll see how it goes in stage number 3. The prize money is doubled now. Stage 3 is certainly the most important stage to get wins. And Chronic had a tough start in his first round against Cosmic. That one went to game 5. And I believe even game 5 overtime, but was not able to go Chronic's way. So he's coming off a loss. Firstkiller coming off a win. And he got a win against apparently Jack. I think that was also a 5-game series, or maybe it was a 3-1. Chronic falling for the ceiling after getting bumps. And he's going to be perfect so far. Game number 1. It was game 4. It was 3-1. Is trading gone? I think trading might be 1 hour from going away. Somebody said earlier in chat that 7 p.m. Eastern is when chatting will be officially gone. Or sorry, trading. Trading will be officially gone. You can chat forever. And I think that's in 1 hour. So if you have some items you need to get, it's time to go get them. Firstkiller with one of his most promising opportunities of this game number 1. Chronic eats it away with a ceiling challenge. Stops Firstkiller in his tracks. I imagine prices are spiking again late, like right before everything closes. You know, all the big items, they said they went down, but now it's like, get this item now or you'll never get it. So I would think that prices can maybe go back up a little bit, but I guess on the other hand, it's sell this item now or you'll never sell it. So I don't know. I guess it goes both ways. Firstkiller on the board as he speeds back to this ball. I would think credits are just losing value too, though, for people who are trying to sell. Now that they can't use their credits to get whatever they want, they can only get what's in the shop. You'd think that they'd care less about getting credits and more just about getting items. You'd think it'd be a rush to just get all the items you'd ever want before it's too late. Chronic just going for speed. He just powered the ball directly at Firstkiller, hoping he could get it there before the save. As he continues to try and pin Firstkiller back. Firstkiller actually managed not to fall into net on that last save, but couldn't get his own back corner boost. And Chronic's giving himself a woo because that certainly wasn't it. Had a lot of net to shoot at and managed to shoot wide at Firstkiller. It's not the end of the world, though, if he stays in possession and just continues to go attempt after attempt on Firstkiller's net, because he does have a 4-goal lead. And the clock is not infinite. Firstkiller for the air. His wave dash shots will get sent away. I think it was going to bounce off the crossbar and out, but Chronic wants it out of a dangerous position, and Firstkiller maybe getting a bit more desperate later in this game. No choice, no choice but to dive. In fact, he's just going to say that that's enough for game number 1. So Chronic takes game 1 6-1, and that has seemed to be a trend on my channel. It has been dominant game 1s today in Salt Mine. 2 Octanes in a 1v1 match. Didn't even really notice before, but that is a bit of a rare sight. Both players have dabbled with the Finnick. So they're going to stick to their Octanes even after this tough loss for Firstkiller. Firstkiller, first time shot out of the air. Powerful but saved. As Chronic looks to go right back to where he ended the previous game, which is testing Firstkiller over and over in defense, but Firstkiller escapes immediately with a demo and gets himself a lead. Firstkiller able to evade Chronic on the ceiling challenge this time. Felt like the successful ceiling challenge that Chronic had in game 1 was the recipe for just completely shutting Firstkiller down. Firstkiller seemed to shy away from those kind of possessions from then on out, but this time around Firstkiller reacts to Chronic on the ceiling and gets it underneath him. Firstkiller off the bounce. Chronic waiting in net. Can't even see him on Firstkiller's screen. Chronic does come in late to get the save. And did not get the kind of possession he wanted. Likely a boost steal, but Firstkiller not really in need of his own back corner. Chronic will back off now as Firstkiller pops a flick. Chronic, maybe a bit of an accidental setup off the crossbar. He's definitely trying to go for a low save, one that he could control, but didn't seem that favorable as these two race for the ball. It's a near perfect tie as they recover back. Chronic could not pop it over the top of Firstkiller, and now does Firstkiller have open field? He should, as he gets a 3-0 lead. Chronic on the board in game 2, courtesy of a kickoff. Able to just force it directly through Firstkiller with a double standard. I mean, I think that means Firstkiller got really side on the ball. He shouldn't be able to force it directly down the center of the field. Chronic, ball to air dribble extraordinaire. This time takes it calm and collected. Goes for the goal line 50 as he wall dashes to try and get back out and around the ball. Couldn't do so before Firstkiller made a play. And now he taps this one away from Firstkiller. I'm surprised Firstkiller even went for it. You know, oftentimes players will approach the ball here and it's really all just a charade, a fake to try and get the opposition to jump. And then Firstkiller could turn off the ball and basically take advantage of the fact that Chronic will be forced to hand it over. But I mean, Firstkiller must have thought he could just win the race, because he tries to beat him to the ball. Allows Chronic to shoot on an open net after he gets beat. Chronic flicking top right. Wow. That was the smallest window that Firstkiller gave him. He was not in a bad position, but there was a world in which Chronic could sneak it all the way over the top and just barely keep it in the net. And that's exactly what he found. Chronic kickoff goal, and the 1-2 punch takes him from down to ahead. Firstkiller started both of his matches against his future teammates. Played against apparently Jack in round 1, now Chronic in round 2. That is going to be for a killer King of the Hill video whenever Gen G wants to record that. Oh, what a fake from Firstkiller. This is such a unique fake. You don't see this very often, these kind of fakes in the midfield. But Firstkiller says, I'm going to cut it. No, I'm not. Oh, that's so dirty. Oh, that is dirty. So often, players are just going to bring that ball to the side wall like that. And Chronic didn't even think twice. Never thought someone would be faking in that position. And you need a complete miss. Firstkiller can't afford for Chronic to touch the ball at all. That's what he got. An immediate follow-up for Chronic, and he's back in the lead. Interesting heavy touch from Chronic as he just sends it into the corner. Firstkiller gets a bump on him, and wow, Chronic tried a backflip challenge. Firstkiller just needs to get the tight angle, and he is going to have no trouble because he is Firstkiller after all. Chronic on the board for a 5th. Wants an air dribble, but that did not get set up the way you would have liked. Firstkiller immediately dunks it anyways, even if he had gotten a better one. But man, another dive from Firstkiller that seems incredibly ill-advised. The demo, and he actually manages not to own goal too. It always seems like somebody's going to put the ball in their own net when they get those chase down demos like that. Firstkiller delayed flip. Wow. Amazing shot from Firstkiller. You see him rise up, air roll like he's going to take the shot immediately. Chronic reacts, and then it's the late use of the flip to get it over the top of him. Firstkiller trying to pass to himself off the ceiling. I believe that's just a long shot from Chronic. And yes, it should be a goal. So 31 seconds. Firstkiller close to tying the series if he can hold on. Nice challenge. Chronic's fake. Never really had Firstkiller moving. Wouldn't have had a chance to make a play on that anyways. Now he'll send it to his back corner. It's always possible when Chronic only needs one goal. Actually a pretty wildly favorable 50. Somehow that ball just stayed glued there in the corner. But it's Firstkiller with possession. He doesn't even need to touch this ball. He will launch it though over the top of Chronic. And I mean, Chronic had no choice but to creep in towards the play. No surprise, he left his net open. And Firstkiller will take game number 2. Firstkiller won Salt Mine 1, and Firstkiller won Salt Mine 2, and Firstkiller won Salt Mine 3 Stage 1. And then the first ever event that Firstkiller did not win in Salt Mine was Salt Mine 3 Stage 2. Daniel won that one. So Firstkiller could bounce back and win Salt Mine 3 Stage 3, or the final stage, or the finals, I guess, whatever they want to call it. And I think history will gloss over the fact that Daniel got the second one. Game number 3. Firstkiller with the bounce back. Not able to start this dribble, which is what it looked like he was trying to do. Couldn't catch up to the ball without boost. Went for the impossible angle and did not connect. Now Chronic needs a bit of speed on his flick. That's exactly what he gets. Firstkiller, great save. Gets the boost, dodges the demo, does everything he needs to. Firstkiller patiently waiting for this ball to roll off the wall. Little infield pass to himself, but Not much he can do. Oh, nice chip. Wow. It's crossbarring in. Firstkiller was sticking around in case it needed any help. But Chronic getting bumped into the corner. Could not recover fast enough. Is this the first time we've had Red Sparkles play against Red Sparkles in terms of their boost? Firstkiller wants the double. Can't get it. And ends up passing to Chronic, but he can't get it in. The follow-up is not there. Firstkiller leaves the ball for Chronic, but on low boost, he's not too worried about what Chronic has in store. Chronic does probably the best thing for Firstkiller, which is just booms the ball directly at him. Allows to have him possession back. Chronic got what he needed with the clear, which is got the ball past Firstkiller, forced him all the way onto the back wall, because that was the last bit of boost Chronic had. Needed time to get more. Chronic feels like an air dribble bump situation with Firstkiller shadowing, but I guess Firstkiller hid behind the ball perfectly, and Chronic was worried about a challenge, so he let the ball drop to try and win a low 50. So credit to Firstkiller's fake. Firstkiller intercepts at ceiling heights. Defense from these guys in the past few minutes has been more than either one of them can overcome. Firstkiller soft touch as he sees Chronic retreating, and Chronic turned in field. Chronic with 11 boost decides to use it to retreat. Oh, he didn't pick up the 100. I think that was a little bit of the frustration. Wave dash kickoff. Not going to get Chronic a goal. In fact, Firstkiller is going to recover, get the back corner boost, maybe even get a goal of his own. He's going to try and 50 this in if he needs help, but it doesn't. That's how often the turnaround can be in ones, or how quick the turnaround can be. Firstkiller, no bump onto Chronic. Flick now. Crossbar down and out. Firstkiller rolls the ball at Chronic, who just booms it back the other way. Not quite enough to get past, and this shot is bouncing but still in, as it takes almost 3 full minutes, but Chronic eventually gets on the board. Chronic leaning back to a reset first touch. He really wants a 50, and he gets it. Didn't like the position that Firstkiller was in, shadowing there on the back wall. Figured if he comes to challenge, there's no way he's going to be able to keep me from finding a way through if I just stay patient behind the ball. And I got himself a goal. Oh, just another boost miss, man. You can see Chronic beating himself up mentally when he missed the boost, and then for a slight second hit reverse like he was going to go back and get it, but he knows there is no going back once you've already missed. Firstkiller, a keep away touch. Chronic does well to cover the angle. Firstkiller wants to stay in possession. Chronic to the back wall. No double. Now Firstkiller delaying his shots. He pulls Chronic off the back wall by not going immediately. See Chronic creeping up, and then says, oh, Firstkiller's not going to take it. I have to come to the ground, but only then does Firstkiller shoot it past him. Chronic resets into the top right. Quick conversion on a kickoff. Should be no surprise here. Chronic scoring the wall to air dribbles that he wins to the side wall on kickoffs. These wave dash kickoffs have been on the verge of being really useful for Chronic. The last time he went for it, he actually ended up giving a goal to Firstkiller, but only because he went all in and it was a bit too close. Now Chronic the whole distance of the field. The reset, tried to put it behind Firstkiller, but it went directly into Firstkiller. Oh, what a recovery from Chronic. That should have been a goal the other way. Chronic never gave up on the play. Found his way back. So down 2, and he just outplayed Firstkiller in the midfield. This one's got to be a goal. Now 40 seconds. Chronic has more than enough time. Both these guys fighting for match point. Will we see a delayed kickoff? In the earlier rounds for Chronic in the crucial moments, he went to that delayed kickoff in order to keep himself or even try and take over the game. What a pinch. It's off target. Firstkiller is going to be coming back the other way with speed as Chronic resets in net. Firstkiller places it the opposite side of Chronic, but he has to save easy. And you almost need to slow down. What really matters on your flick is to put it somewhere that Chronic won't be able to get a speedy save. Sometimes that means putting it back towards them and almost to force them to slow down. The Firstkiller threw his flick directly in stride of Chronic's recovery. And now Chronic, a kickoff win and a flick that goes top right. He didn't get his wall to air dribble, but he got his possession all the same. And now he has Firstkiller on the back foot with 10 seconds. Firstkiller, 0 seconds. Not quite. He still has a chance. Oh, he didn't get the ball bouncing. That ball hit the ground and got glued to it. And that roll will not cut it, as Chronic will take a 2-1 lead in the best of 5. Game 4. Right back into it quick. A reset of the scoreline for both these guys. But we need to be a reset. So the mentality for Firstkiller, he hasn't been completely out of it. But it has been Chronic with the edge as he goes for a full field dribble. He's recognized these 50s have been working for him. Instead of trying to play over the top of Firstkiller, who has defensively proven to be prepared, instead, force him into a couple bad touches by slowing the ball down and hitting those wheels on the ball. This is an air dribble bump. Oh, that was so cute. This was the cutest little air dribble bump I've ever seen. They just met noses in the air. Hello. 1-0 for Chronic. Chronic, so controlled. You can tell, so confident on those air dribbles. But it is going to be stopped by Firstkiller. He's going to send back into the orange half. Chronic's air dribble, 3 jumps. And Firstkiller able to make it back down on the landing, and even that final jump is important. Wait, Chronic got bumped into a pool shot into the back wall. The back and forth there. Both players feeling like they had the advantage, but it's Firstkiller who finally comes out on top by forcing Chronic to send it off the backboard. Firstkiller seeing Chronic setting up in the corner on the ceiling. Tried to put power on it to keep it away. Well, that was a crazy read that Firstkiller just tried to go on the side wall where Chronic was going to put it and just take it away immediately. It was a bit off. Chronic pinches this one away. Firstkiller is going to want to force the issue as soon as possible, since Chronic on low boost, in and out of the nets. And oh my goodness, what a save. Chronic, I was ready to say, was easily going to get scored on. It was an impossible position for him, but he found a way out, in and out of the nets. Somehow sent it to the post. Firstkiller attacking again, going to go high and get his goal. Firstkiller felt robbed of that previous one. Great first touch reset to immediately end the ball's downward momentum. And carried it in. He protected it on the way in too, in case there was going to be any touches from Chronic defensively. Chronic pre-jump over the top of Firstkiller. This landing should bring the ball to net. We have seen these defensive pre-jumps be so effective and really become essential to the way you defend in ones. With how good everyone is in the air now, if you can see them coming, the situations in which dribbles feel most obvious are not just clear to the offense, but clear to the defense too. And they've started to be proactive to a lot of success. Chronic not going to be able to throw Firstkiller off his line this time. Firstkiller with the lead over halfway as he tries to force a game 5. Chronic fighting to be guaranteed to be in the playoffs. I'm not sure if it's guaranteed yet. I don't know how quickly Wikipedia is updating those scenarios, as Firstkiller is just going to hand Chronic a freebie. Went for a greedy angle. Not going to be a tough one for him to handle. But let me go see if by any chance they're updating the rankings in North America. I don't think so. Yeah, it says everyone has 0 points for stage 3. Chronic is currently in, but of course he has the likes of Wavy, Cosmic, Beast Mode, Jack, all trying to chase him out. And with an 0-1 start, there is a world if Chronic couldn't hold this one down. That, I imagine there's some scenario he doesn't make it, so he needs a win. Firstkiller trying to guarantee that bye. Firstkiller connecting with Chronic to pinch over the top and into the corner. Nice play around Chronic. He had to take it back into his own half. That is what's so crucial about this play. A lot of times players will try and outplay by just going slightly to the side in the direction of the net. No, Firstkiller gets all the way around the ball, makes sure to chip it to the side away from the orange half to guarantee the Chronic miss. And then he gets back around it after he has the defender flying. So 4-3 lead. Oh, miss on the boost from Firstkiller, ends his possession. That could end up being a very costly mistake. We now want Chronic with the ball and a boost advantage as Firstkiller had to back off. Yeah, I mean, who knows? With a minute left to go, that boost grab might haunt Firstkiller a little bit. Chronic wins the ensuing kickoff and converts. These two fighting for the boost at the midfield, which oftentimes is an all-in play. It definitely increases the likelihood of a goal being scored within 5 seconds of the kickoff. If both players elect to race, whoever loses is in big trouble. Ooh, nice Firstkiller. Playing a bit of keep away when the pressure is on, too. Chronic at ceiling heights. Firstkiller elects not to bring it to him, but then taps to the back wall. Chronic, man, only a couple pixels off of not getting that save. Firstkiller wanted to see if he could get a cheeky 0 boost goal while Chronic went to steal all the boost, but he wasn't able to, so now he's going to have to play at a disadvantage. Gets his 100 now, but is it too late? Chronic flings the flick over the top of him. Ooh, did not get the touch as he tried to guide it back in front of Firstkiller's net. Oh my goodness, he's pixels away from getting demoed, but he does escape. He is going to go back down to the ground when Firstkiller was clearly looking to connect with him. Thought for sure he would have tried to avoid him, but fortunately it's not a demo, it's just a bump. And the ball will hit ground, so overtime. Chronic could win the series with a goal here. Firstkiller wants to keep the series going. Chronic back into his half, gonna let this one bounce off the back wall. Wants a low 50 with Firstkiller. Doesn't go in his way. Firstkiller from ceiling height. Chronic comes to challenge him. Firstkiller does kill the ball and has a reset. The shot is high. Chronic can't get there. Firstkiller will force game 5. Great conversion off the kickoff. It's the first time we've seen somebody use the roof of their car here in these 50s. Both of them have been trying to go wheel 50s to drop them down. Firstkiller rolls his back and gets himself a game win. Game number 5. Firstkiller and Chronic. It should be worth mentioning. In fact, the fact that I haven't mentioned it till now is atrocious. Chronic and Firstkiller have played each other a ton. A very well-versed matchup. I think something like 12 or 13 times. Chat, how many of you guys know how many wins Chronic has gotten? Listen, this is just history. Maybe I shouldn't have put it that way. I'll just tell you, Chronic, I believe, has 1 win. Maybe he's gotten another one recently that I don't know of, but I think it's 1. Chronic has historically had a really tough matchup with Firstkiller, despite being at the top of his game since the original Salt Mine days. Salt Mine 1, Chronic was in the grand final, I believe, with Firstkiller. Wasn't able to get the win. So Firstkiller, you know, he maybe has more pressure on him as a guy who has very consistently beat Chronic. I want to say the only win came in like an Astro or something. I might try and load it up on RL Duels. Chronic, wow, how was that a save? Kept that from going in by pinching it with his post across his net all the way to this side of the field. Chronic's going to drop this one down. And a nice wave dash recovery clears out Firstkiller's follow-up. Chronic delays his shot. Firstkiller does not go past the play, though, which is certainly what that delay threatens. Firstkiller double to himself off the ceiling. Long shot from Chronic attempted, but it's wide. Chronic forcing Firstkiller in the air. If he wasn't going to protect the ball there, Chronic easily have a follow-up. Tense moments. The Chronic at a 1-0 lead. The flick over the early challenge we've seen a few times. Make it 2 for Chronic. Let's see. I'll see if I can pull up the RL Duels rivalry here. Chronic pre-jumping the dribble from Firstkiller. Does get back down to the ground. And is able to make the save. Firstkiller still searching for his first goal. 2 minutes in. Chronic sends one wide into the corner. What can Firstkiller get from here? Popping it over the top of Chronic. Can he get it inside the top right corner? He can! Oh my goodness. I thought this was past the nets and not scoreable. But Firstkiller found a way to do it. He did a little double off the backboard and snuck it in. Takes almost half the game, but Firstkiller is on the board and he gets his second immediately. May have felt like Chronic was controlling this game 5, but you're never safe with only 2 goals. And now we have ourselves a tie game. Firstkiller able to win out the race. One of the rare times this doesn't lead immediately to a goal, as Chronic has possession. He's really just buying himself time. I don't think he expects to score here. He just wants to get himself into a good position defensively after losing that midfield race. And he's done so now. Firstkiller looking for that top right corner as Chronic forced to fall into the net off the save. Look over the top of Firstkiller. Wanted to steal that corner boost, couldn't get it, so now I have to just back off and allow Firstkiller to attack with space. A dangerous thing. Firstkiller taking it slow. Feels like these guys are adjusting to game 5. Oh my goodness, he tried to just power it in. Chronic does get the save. These guys are playing grounded, playing safer, and we saw them play earlier. What a shot. Talk about the moment affecting these guys. Doesn't seem to affect Chronic on this shot, as it doesn't get better than that. A little bit of crossbar, a little bit of ground, but finds its way through. Chronic now a kickoff win as he tries to extend it, has to give away the ball. It's going to be Firstkiller on the air dribble. Reset looking top right. Oh my goodness. They may have been tentative before, but they seem to be finding their stride now. And Firstkiller shows how it's done. 111 km/h shot in order to tie the game up. Barely neutral kickoff as these two vie for control. It is eventually going to go Chronic's way, but Firstkiller able to reset on boost. Air dribble from Chronic. Reset, ground pinch. Firstkiller stopped it, but couldn't keep it out on the follow-up. Such a strong pinch from Chronic. We'll watch it again from his perspective. We saw Firstkiller trying to react defensively. That is just, it's too strong to handle. Chronic with the lead as we approach the final minutes. Chat says Firstkiller's 10-1 historically against Chronic. I'm trying to pull it up right now. It's still been loading on my end. Firstkiller can let this one bounce off the back wall. Looking to undercut Chronic as he lands. Trying to do it again. Hasn't had a ton of success with it. So he looks to play the possession back to the blue half. Chronic will force a save out of Firstkiller. Take a boost steal. Now Firstkiller starved out. Tries to dive immediately. Chronic might have some open space. He does. (5-3) for Chronic with 41 seconds left to go. Can he do what he has very rarely been able to do? Trying to shake off the demon that is his matchup against Firstkiller. Firstkiller has a demo, and it should be an easy bucket. Firstkiller needs all the time, so he will power it as soon as he has the opportunity. 32 seconds. Delay kickoff from Chronic. Goes to the wave dash as well. Chronic, really heavy touch. Is that a bit of nerves getting to him? He will follow it back up before Firstkiller does anything. Now he looks to hold the possession himself. Firstkiller probably wants a demo here on the back wall. The play slowing down. Firstkiller awkward. Does tap it around. Chronic, maybe a bit of a panic backflip. It's on the goal line. Firstkiller wants a 50 and Chronic to panic. Chronic does not. Chronic backs off the ball here. He has no boost, so Firstkiller at 0 seconds. Chronic, it's a fake challenge. Firstkiller to the skies. That should probably do it. The ball will hit ground. Firstkiller won't even watch it happen as Chronic exercises the demon and gets a win over Firstkiller.